sometimes this doesn't make sense. We're better off just keeping it as is and doing the easy route. But, then I look at that and I was like, oh, where's the fun in that?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Eastgate Chat podcast with Evolve.
Are we going to use the technology from what's on the Hayden series?
It's changing that whole final drive ratio.
Surfing this endless wave through Tokyo.
Electric skateboarding is like breaking through.
Every time I wanted to drink, I would step on this board.
Heard somebody say, hey, Dean.
100%.
We'd love to build our own specialised e-skate track. I mean, the amount of thought that went into that.
I want to talk about how it affected the riders.
I went skating with Tony Hawk.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a whole new product line.
I've done things I never thought I'd be able to do because of electric skateboarding.
Welcome back to the final episode of the Eastgate Chat podcast for the year. And as we do every year, we're just going to recap on all the rad things that have happened because it's been a busy, bloody year.
Wow, certainly has been. I can't believe it's been 12 months already. And we're all pretty tired. The whole team's tired. And I think we're all looking forward to having a couple of days off and recharging the batteries for next year, 2024. What's 2024 going to be like? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll keep that for 2024. This is
Okay.
all about...
Yeah, let's not talk about 2024 yet.
What have we done this year? I think one of the biggest things we've done is we released the most boards this year than we've ever released. Because not only did we have some major product releases, but we also jumped into the limited edition space.
Yeah.
We've
been hustling.
Yeah,
we've been hustling. We've been trying to do different things. We're trying to see what people like. We know that everyone loves, customization, and I think that's been a big driving force in a lot of the product designs that we've brought out this year. Do we want to talk about some of them?
Yeah, let's talk about all of them. What was do you have a favorite that we released this year?
Yes. It was the mainframes.
The mainframes. All right. So we did 4 different colorways.
Yeah.
So that's 4 different mainframes, and then we did the mainframe assault, which was the camo version of the mainframe.
Yeah, but the point of difference there, it didn't have the clear case on the assault.
That's right, and it had the big chunky off-road tires. It had the Force bash guard.
Yeah,
and it had obviously different. It had the black rip tape, but full camo wrap.
Yeah, and it looked cool. It was a good looking board, but very different from the other style of mainframes. But I have to say, I love the mainframe because nothing in Eastgate, no one's done clear cases before. That was it. That was the point of difference here, and we've always toyed around and discussed about the great thing about the Hayden because we've got that chassis frame and we can drop the case into it. When we first did it a few years back, we were like, oh man, we should put a clear case in it, and we just we talked about these ideas and finally we brought them to life. So when we finally saw it and to see those cells and to come up with a name, I think the name suits it perfectly. Mainframe, electronics, and it was good. And the feedback was amazing. Like we did only a small batch that were hard to make, especially with the hydro dip. The hydro dip, 2 color choices for the first run. It was the blue and the red, I think it was, and they sold out just like that, like literally within half an hour. We didn't have a huge amount of them, but it was quite surprising how quickly they went. Yeah, that was my favourite. What about you?
Yeah, the purple mainframe.
Purple. Okay.
The purple mainframe was by far my favourite. And I found that interesting throughout the whole mainframe experience was everyone had like a very strong opinion on what colour was best, what they liked, or what colour we should do. There's people saying, do a teal one, do an orange one, do a yellow one.
See, that's the hard thing about doing, custom limited edition runs like this is that, you're never going to tick every box. Everyone has different style and different needs and we could go ahead and go, oh, let's make 50 of these, but then we might get stuck with a bunch of product that no one wants because it's not their colour choice. So it's a risk from a manufacturing business point of view to do little things like this. That's why we do it in such smaller amounts, so we don't get, if something doesn't work, then we learn from it. So I think the mainframes has been a highlight for me. But then the other versions of the mainframes, I have to admit, the other board that I really, really liked was the I Am Your Future.
Yeah. So that was a bamboo GTR, but we carried the clear battery case over onto that model.
Yeah, and very different to the Hadian because that had, the drop-through case. This was, the bottom attached motor controller as well as the battery case, and having both of those clear together, what an amazing look. It was black, you could see the cells. I was fond of that board, especially with the grip tape design. Not everyone in our business here liked it, I have to admit. There was some debates on it, but we only made a small run and they all sold out as well. We had mixed feedback. Some people going, oh my God, this is like art. And then, and plus the other thing a lot of people didn't realize is that monkey that was on that board that was just laser etched into the deck, that's evolved history, man. That was part of our first ever artwork. And it was a snub nose board. Our very first board we ever released at Evolve was the pintail and snub nose. It was a series. And the snubby had that funny shape and had the monkey saying, I am your future, smoking a big spliff. It was just cool, man. It's different.
Yeah, it was definitely like an art piece legacy throwback.
It was.
And I must say, it looked a shitload better in the flesh.
Than the original
I was a
drawings.
bit iffy when it was on the computer screen, but when it actually came out, I think what tied it together for me is with the whole battery and motor controller case going clear, we put silver trucks on it with white urethane and no black grip tape on top. It was clear and laser etched. Yeah. So there wasn't much darkness on the board. There wasn't much black at all. And it gave it this sort of light, airy, almost surfy feel.
Yeah.
And I think that was different enough from anything else that we've done that, it was very appealing.
I love that board. And I mean, at the end of the day, these are custom products that we're doing, and they're not easy to make. Like the fact that you've got to, either get all the components in and build it yourself, or you take apart something that we already have, and then we have to find ways to produce it, whether it's the grip tape, laser cut, you have to design it in-house, you have to work with other people in some aspects of it. Like if you want to talk business and margins and everything like that, sometimes this doesn't make sense. We're better off just keeping it as is and doing the easy route. But, then I look at that and I was like, oh, where's the fun in that? But, it's just that they're hard to make. I guess that's my point here. It's doing these little 1%, variations doesn't always make sense, but you've got to do it.
That sort of relates to the teak boards that we did.
Another one, yes.
There's a company called Teak, and it's a local guy. He's literally started pretty much straight away and contacted us, and he lives down the road.
Yeah.
He came in with his traditional skateboards where he makes a teak laser cut grip or CNC. I don't know how he cuts it. And it's sort of the material from a yacht, but as skateboard grip.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, come in, show us. And we're like, man, this is cool.
It was cool.
It's cool. Let's do this. So we ran the bamboo Hadian and GTR in that. So add another 2 boards to the limited editions this year.
Yep. And that was, again, that was popular. We moved through those and it was such a detailed, it was a piece of art. So we've been hustling when it comes to those types of products. We've been trying different things and aside from our core, these little variations of, I think it's been well received within our customer base. Other products though, big releases.
Well, before we do that,
okay,
there's a most recent limited edition run that we just did, which was a Frio board.
Yes.
That was that all purple one with the clear case as well.
How good was that?
Yeah, and that's got purple cells, purple wheels, and a purple grip tape design, which was a collaboration with a Melbourne-based artist. That came out.
But you forgot the clear case with the purple cells. Did you say that?
Yeah. So the whole thing sort of tied in together, and there's still a few of them online in Australia and US, I believe.
Yeah. We don't have many left. We've only got we build those to order. So we've got all the grip tape. They're all cut. We've got the clear cases in. So
that's a super unique board. So if you want something that's like, it's loud, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the good thing about that too is you go to a group ride or you ride with your friends, you're different, especially the clear case. The clear case is just so unique. You know, you stand the board up and you look at it, it's like, okay, this is electric. I love that part of the design.
Yeah. On to the big releases. So the first one we did was the Enrique, which flowed on from the Omikaze collab we did.
Yep.
And I think that was December last year, so probably about a year ago from when we're shooting this.
Yeah, again, that was another limited edition board that we did 12 months ago, and it really worked. And that gave us the confidence to to take it to the next step. And what a beautiful board that is. Amazing deck, great board to ride, looks killer, and just proud to be working with the guys, Don and Pablo over at Loaded, and it's been well received in the market.
Oh, hugely. From everyone that's sort of gone from riding, whether they're riding the longer boards or they're riding a Stoke, they're surprised by how this thing sort of rides. And I was too. First time I rode it, I'm like, shit, there's so much control.
Yeah.
And that all kind of just boils down to that deck that Loaded specifically made for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I found with it too. Doing these little shimmies and just trying to break traction on the wheels without it going all the way around. You want to do like a sort of a 90-degree sort of push out, and then you can bring it back. And I found you could do that really easily on this deck. You just felt like you had more control. That was one of my highlights with that board, and just the name of it too. I know the Enrique. I still, with the Australian accent, don't pronounce that very well, but everything about it was so well thought out. The deck, the design, the name, and using our Stoke Series 2 setup, but with a larger cell. It's got plenty of range in it, and it's a compact board, but it does what it's meant to do.
And again, they sold out really quickly.
Yeah.
And then because we were making the decks with Loaded, it took a little bit.
Yeah.
So we've been out of stock for maybe 4 months on those things.
Yeah, we
and
have.
We put them on pre-order a couple weeks ago. I
Yeah.
think USA's landing next week, Australia next week or the week before.
Yep.
So, that'll be back to next day shipping and all that.
we got heaps, and it lands in port I think tomorrow in US. So we're probably, once you go through clearance and delivery, we'll be catching up with all those back orders, and then we're going to have a bunch of surplus there. Plus, we've still got a bunch of more decks pre-made, which are waiting to be turned into a full board. So I think you'll see that we'll have a good surplus of Enriques over the next leading through into summer. Maybe we'll be a bit light on by then, but just depends, I guess.
Cool. My favourite release of the year, actually that's hard to say because there's another big one we just did, but the Renegade.
Oh, yeah.
The Renegade was a long time coming.
Yeah.
I started here in 2018, and I remember that first Christmas party at your house.
Yeah.
You pulled out the Renegade. It was a complete board
That's right.
in 2018.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is that? And
I
for
remember.
5 years,
Yeah.
we've just been tinkering it, making it better. So to see that go from that to finally coming out,
know.
huge milestone.
Yeah, and that one that you saw was, we've got other ones of that, I have to say, without saying too much, but, we actually were working on it even before that. Finally came to the market, and why did it, take so long to get out? We were working on the GT series, and then we wanted to change our technology, move to a different sort of system electronically, which then we realised that this was a great system, and then we have to now use this on the mountain board, and then by the time we had that on the market, then we changed it again, and then then the Hadian came out, and
Now it's got to have the Hadian power, and it just sort of kept getting better, which is great.
Yeah.
But that's why
that's what took so long. Yeah. So I'm super proud of that one too. The deck is amazing. A lot of time and effort has gone into that deck, especially the earlier days. I remember it was quite long, and it had a big bow in it, and I hate the bow. I have to say, it is so uncomfortable underfoot, and that was one of the key drivers that we took our time to change it. So then we just got the bow just perfect, and then especially when you stand on it, it just feels right now underfoot. Your ankles and the arch of your foot doesn't feel weird now. So that's what I noticed mostly on the earliest prototypes. The bow was just too much.
Yeah, you can see it in the documentary. We compare the decks, and the first one was just full on like that, which I don't know why mountain boarders do it. It might make sense if you're on the board for 30 seconds. But when you're trying to ride at 30 kilometres...
Oh, man. Your feet felt weird. And that was one thing that I noticed really quickly, and plus I'm so used to that other normal style of deck that we've been producing all these years, and once you get used to something, it's hard to sort of change, and so I guess we modified it, but we got it right, man, and especially in the construction, wow, the way it can sort of bend and twist and then spring back into original form. That's some pretty serious innovation in itself, and we've never had a deck construction like that, and it feels more like a snowboard. It's got that original pop, it genuinely has that spring, and it's not a dead spring. It will push you back. So really proud of that deck. I'm glad we took our time with the shape, got rid of the bow, got rid of that shitty bow, and got the concave in it, and then we achieved the right amount of pop. Really good. Yeah. Can't wait. And actually, these are all arriving as we speak.
They're on the same shipment as
the Enricos.
So that means, we've had a pre-order on that for, 8 weeks maybe? All those people, no one's actually got one yet.
Yeah.
So we've never seen what our riders can do on this other than the couple guys we filmed with, and they were insane.
Yeah.
So, man, strap in for January, because I think some people are going to do wild things. Almost everyone bought them with bindings on. So be safe, guys, but have fun.
And it rides fantastically without bindings. You just ride it like a normal board. And what I love about it, that flex, is when you're in a sort of a grass field or something like that, and then you feel that pop. It's like a floaty pop, and because of the wider trucks, you've got more stability. You can really sort of carve a bit harder. It tends to sort of grip and hold a bit more in those surfaces. So ride's completely different. Can't wait to see the feedback come in. And the video, the marketing behind it was amazing. Our team has done an amazing job there. And it's really good to see, the way we work as a company and team, from a product sort of visionary standpoint, then trying to get it to life. It's so process driven. But then when we're getting ready and it's almost there, then it's like, we need to get the right messaging out there. And then the whole process there is very similar to the R&D work. So the vision of that end result, what we're trying to achieve, and then the steps that every scene has to be structured and designed, and it's well thought out. You can't just go, oh, hey, let's go film. So, we got a good team.
Yeah. That is also one of my favourite films.
The desert. We're an Australian company.
Yeah, it was very Australiana, and that was awesome. So that's good. And with them arriving, UK is sold out. Australia's now sold out. Yep. I think US and New Zealand have some left. So that means if they arrive this week into US, you'll get your hands on them in the next week or two.
Yeah.
After arrival.
Yeah, wait time is very small now. So we should put a message out there exactly how many we got left, and
we'd have to do a count. It's not many.
Yeah.
Cool. This is potentially the thing that kickstarted the whole Mainframe thing, was the Gremlin. So this was not a board that we offered for sale, but it was almost an R&D project, a bit of fun. Tell us about the Gremlin.
Well, I guess the Gremlin has been it's really a Haitian system that is just not handcuffed. It allows the whole current, the whole RPMs, and it goes faster. It gets there to top speed really quickly. And essentially with all our Haitians, we don't like max out the speed, and we don't wind up all the current, with the 12S. So the motor controller, the BMS, the battery can handle a lot more. We're working within itself for our production boards, but we wanted to have a board that was, let's just see what it can do. How much can we get out of it? And that was the project. So we called it the Gremlin. It had a bit of a Gremlin personality, split personality, I would say.
It was just angry.
It was angry, but you could ride it like normally as well if you go into sport mode or. But it was a fun board. It takes off like there's no tomorrow. It gets up to a pretty high top speed, and it keeps up with whatever's out there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We took it over to Eastgate Con. That's the first time we sort of unleashed it to the world, and that must have been in April.
Yeah.
It's kind of got this folklore about it now where people are like, yeah, you remember that Gremlin board, like the Gremlin, and the clip resurfaces every now and then of Kyle launching the thing, because it took off faster than every single board there.
Yeah.
Like, this is a race event with some crazy boards.
Well, what got me with that race event is like, why are they doing rolling starts?
Because they're scared.
It should be go and then you go, not rolling into it and then you could be at different sort of speeds depending on the gearing that you've got. If you're already at a 10 miles an hour and then you hook it, you're going to get a good start. So I don't know. I had to question that part.
Yeah, weird vibe. I don't agree, but it's their race, so they can do what they want.
That's true.
At the end of the day. But
so
I think they're going to change stuff up. I don't know about that specifically, but for this year, I think it might be a bit different.
Maybe it was designed for a few specific board types.
Well, we were the only double kingpin street board in the final. It was just race boards, and they are a different beast. Like, I think they have bindings and shit on them, so
yeah.
So I don't even know if they can start without pushing.
So Kyle did pretty good. He
did amazing.
He rode like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, and like
held on for dear life with this board.
I don't think people gave him like quite the props. People who knew, but I think a lot of people were just watching it and thinking it was another race board. It's like, nah, that dude's doing it on normal 7-inch tires. He's on double kingpins. He's gone like 55 k's an hour.
Probably didn't want to also mention that it was an Evolve board beating most of the boards there.
Yeah, the commentators didn't want to do that. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
All right, so that's all the products covered. So outside of the products, we've also done a few cool things like within the business. I think one of the very first projects of the year was finalizing the Oceanside storefront in California. I know you went over like a bunch of times. We've gone over since it's been complete. What was the process and the idea of going into that location?
Yeah, so our lease ran out in Carlsbad, and we needed to find another place to operate our business from. So the vision was, Carlsbad was in like an industrial location. It was really hard to find, and if you were, really searching for Evolve, of course you're going to find us. And I wanted to be somewhere where perhaps there was some more through traffic and easier, seen by more of the general public. And wanted something that was like industrial, but had like a retail sort of aspect to it as well. And so, we went searching for that, and certainly wasn't easy to find. Looked at many different locations, and then we finally found something, and moving's not easy. Don't wish it upon anyone. But Oceanside, it's a cool place. It's just gritty. I feel as though it's sort of up and coming. It had a bit of a poorer reputation many years ago, but I think this is all changing now. There's a lot of cool breweries popping up, so I think we've moved there. We've set up a showroom at the front, and we've got our operations out the back, and there's a loft. And yeah, it's a cool place. I mean, we're only fresh there. The showroom's only just done. Yeah, so it's good. And then we did the opening there. We had a event.
When was that? Start of September, I think we did that.
Yeah, and that was great. It was good to see the team. Good to see some of the local SD community. They came out and helped support the event. And we set up like a little track where our neighbour, he runs a car yard there, so he let us use that. And it was just fun. And then we had a really rad group ride afterwards. Oceanside. If you haven't been, if you're in the area, go down, check the shop out. We do demos, and that's where we run our operations from.
Yeah, cool place to skate as well. Like really cool, actually.
Loads of places all along the beachfront there.
Yeah, there's heaps of bike trails up through the mountains too. So beach, mountains, gravel tracks, bike paths, the whole works.
That's a huge part, a huge thing that's happened this year, and a lot of work's gone into it, and hopefully we continue doing well.
Yeah. Something else we did that we did, I guess, a trial run in Australia was the trade-in program. So it's something people have asked about for years and years, and it's figuring out how you can actually make it work. And I think we sort of did.
Yeah, we've been doing it here for a few months now, and like through our service department, you see a lot of old boards coming in and people wanting parts for them, like old GT and GTX, even like the Gen 1 carbons. We got a lot of product and we've been doing business for a while, and these customers are still trying to, fix their boards up, and then it's like, man, we need them on the new product. Like, one of the challenging things running an Eastgate business is that you need to hold parts for legacy product, and we can't keep making things forever. Like, suppliers change, and then we move to new product. We're not ordering parts as much. So there's some business challenges there that we have to deal with, and plus, the product's getting better and better. So if we could find a way where we can help our customers out and get them onto sort of new technology, and then I just know that we'll be able to support them better in the future as well with supplying parts. So that's the whole concept, why we did it, and of course, like any trading system, you've got to set some parameters around it, and some boards are 7, 5, 6 years old, beaten up like there's no tomorrow, but they still work. And so we try to be fair and give some good discounts off new product. We do an assessment, and that allows the customer to get the latest tech at a cheaper price. And then we hold on to some of their parts to potentially either dismantle and keep if ever we have to help another customer out who doesn't want to upgrade to a board. So that also allows us to to keep servicing some of the old product. But at the end of the day, we're trying to do our best for our older customers as much as we can. But it's also allowed us to keep a lot of our customers really happy too. And it's been well received. Like to do it in other locations. USA would be a good one.
I think that'll definitely be worth looking at next year. Because the other thing that also does is, there's guys that bring in boards that aren't 5 years old and trash, and we grade them A grade, B grade, whatever. And the A's and B's, we have started like a refurbished boards program.
Yeah.
So obviously there's people out there trying to find a cheaper, better deal.
Yeah.
So it gives them an option too to get sort of the board they want, but be able to save a little bit money because it's a bit scratched or it's a bit whatever.
Yeah, no, that's good point. And sometimes we get returns and we put it through the system. We make sure everything is fully Evolve certified and working 100% well. And we've got it on our website. We've got a seconds section, and it's a good chance to get a great deal.
They are a good deal, and it's like second-hand boards with a full Evolve warranty.
Yep.
So
exactly,
we're the only ones that's doing that. Sweet. All right, what else we done? Evolve Europe, right?
Yes, Evolve Europe.
Evolve Europe's been literally just in the last couple months sort of a way that we're better able to, I guess, service the customers across Europe, because I don't even know how many countries there are there.
Yeah.
But it's a logistical
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
And some of our distributors haven't always had all the parts, so we've been trying to find ways where we can be able to store product in a location and then be able to supply some of our distributors as well as the customers as best as we can. And so we've got a warehouse there now that's storing all spare parts and some skateboards as well. And our vision and goal there is to, grow that and have access, availability for everything at the end of the day. And customers who old boards, whatever, they can jump on our website and they can easily buy anything they want from there. And full range of videos on our website. You can replace stuff yourself as well. So we're just trying to make accessibility for all Evolve products just as easy as possible for everyone.
Yeah, that's it. Just a better customer service experience, I think.
Yeah, because there's definitely been times where we've had shortages of products in certain locations and for whatever reasons, and so now we're trying to certainly centralise that and make access easier.
Yeah, cool. And it's worth noting too, Evolve Germany and Evolve Spain are still doing their thing for people in those countries, but it's for the countries like Italy and places that we haven't been able to really properly service.
Yeah.
Like, this is perfect for those people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another milestone we celebrated just yesterday was the Evolve Skateboard Owners Group turned 10 years old. 10
years.
So Facebook did you started this group 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
How does that make you feel?
Old. That's the first word. Look, proud as well at the end of the day, and seeing all those photos and the great memories there, and the different experiences people have met. It's just stoked. Just seeing electric skateboarding go from time for us anyway, from a garage-based business to turning into a worldwide phenomenon. It's really cool. And the different people you meet along the way, the experiences that have come along with it, the journey, I guess. It's all about the journey, and we've certainly had a lot of that. So 10 years, huh? That's just on the Facebook group. There was a lot more work before that.
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, Facebook groups must have only just started around that time. I don't know how long Facebook groups have even been around.
Yeah, and then that was the first Evolve owners group that came, and then, it grew really quickly. And then I remember 3-4 years down the track, once it was around sort of when we launched the GT series, that's when I noticed then all these other subgroups just started to pop up, and then it became really localized. There was different subgroups and subgenres of what we created, and then those groups then turned into a different group. So it's certainly been an interesting journey.
It's been a journey and a ride. I think that group was originally started too by Andy Smith. Is that right?
No, it wasn't. It was this group was started by another earlier customer of ours, who was from Brisbane.
Right, the Evolve Skateboard Owners.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I thought Andy, because he's been involved ever since I've been involved.
Yeah, no, he didn't start the group, but we know the guys who started very well, but we've had different people managing the group for a while, different customers, that page has had a full journey too.
Well, that ruined my whole segue, because I was going to say he just started the Project BMX group.
He did.
So he got on that real fast. He was so excited.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I was like, what? This is happening? Geez, we've just released this product.
Yeah,
now there's a new group.
It's got a bunch of people in it already. They're sort of talking about their bits and pieces, putting their orders in.
Yeah. Again, that's fresh. So like anything new, product wise, there's always groups around it, and to get the different tips and all around product and meetups. So looking forward to seeing what journey that creates from now, because who knows what path that's going to go down.
Who knows? It's been a few days since we went live with the pre-orders.
Yeah.
What's your general vibe so far?
Oh, I'm really stoked, man. I got to thank everyone who's supported the project, and very grateful for that support, especially because it's a brand new product, and the fact that we've done something completely new. It's such a niche. There's none of these out there, and we've had customers that back us and support us for us taking a risk like this. Yeah, I think I'm stoked how it's gone, and there's so many little sort of things potentially working against us with this, but I don't care, because I know it feels right. I love the product. It rides really well. If I enjoy it, if I enjoy using it, surely other people are going to feel the same way. And that's how our skateboard started. Exactly the same thing. When we started Evolve, no one was e-skating. It just wasn't a thing. But I was out there 10 o'clock at night, riding in car parks, just going, this is the best thing ever. How cool is e-skating? And then once people got the boards, and then it slowly sort of got bigger and bigger, and people started sharing it with their friends. People understood it, and it grew. And I feel as though this is going to happen with Project BMX too. It's not for everyone, but everyone knows how to ride a bike, and it makes you feel pretty cool when you're out there on a Sunday afternoon, like you're on the skateboard going for a cruise. You feel the same with the bike. Yeah. It's cool.
That's almost the ethos of Evolve. You just did what you liked, and hoped enough people were like, actually, that's cool, I agree. And that seems to be what's happened with the bike. We've put the vision out there, and people are like, oh yeah, I see what you did there. I like that. Yeah,
it's totally grateful, and sure, I'd be lying if I wasn't nervous about it, because we've always been about the endless wave and the carve, and we will be about that. That's our brand. But we also like other things too. And I was nervous about, we don't have a bike audience, we've got a skateboard audience, but there's a lot of synergies between riding skateboards and riding BMXs, especially as you're growing up. That's what a lot of people did. The fact that it was recognised and received well, and initially we've already sold a successful amount. It just gives confidence knowing that we've made a good decision. Now we've got some work to do.
I saw you glance over here just before, and I forgot it was behind me, but we wanted to show them something that we got coming out very early next year.
Yes.
I'll grab it.
Yeah, grab it. Yeah, so this is a deck wrap, custom designed to fit our GTR range. And how cool is it? It's a protection, but it's also got a design on it, and it totally transformed the whole look of the board. We've got one for the carbon, we've got one for the bamboo. It'll fit the GTR 1 and the Series 2. Mm-hmm. And we think people are going to like this. How rad. It looks like a tattoo effect on it. We call it the Kraken.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've always said grip tape's by far the biggest transformation you can do to your board.
Yeah.
On top.
Yeah, on top.
So it's nuts that you could put this on it and it really just elevates the whole thing. But at the same time, it's a similar material that they use on mountain bike frame grips.
Yep.
So when people buy a bike, some people don't want to scratch it ever.
That's right.
So they just wrap the whole thing in this. So it will completely protect it. So if you do go to sell it or you do go to change anything, you rip that off and it'll be pristine underneath.
Yeah,
it's super tough.
I think this will be well received by everyone who has our products, and it's not expensive. It protects it and it makes it look completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Coming early 2024, and that'll be for both the GTRs to start with, just in that pattern.
Yep.
It looks pretty cool, and we'll see where we go from there. New patterns, new colours, and other boards as well.
New products,
So
new boards you mentioned.
new boards for the grip tape. We're
Yeah.
not doing any new boards. What
That's
are you
it.
talking about?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Right on. And on that note, thanks guys for 2023.
Yeah, that's it.
It's been a wild ride, and we'll see you all next year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Stay safe to everyone. And, yeah, we'll see you soon.